Hello, I'm Dr. David Wiseman, and I'm here to invite you to participate in what is probably one of the most important research surveys that we've conducted to date. This research concerns the use of opioids in chronic pain, as well as FDA proposals that, if implemented, could restrict your access to adequate pain relief. One of the biggest complaints that I hear from patients all the time is that there's a lack of awareness about adhesions and chronic pelvic pain, and there's simply not enough research and action being taken. So here's your chance to change all of that, because we have a unique opportunity to make our voice heard in Washington, D.C. and to influence the policy of the FDA and other government agencies. So what do we mean by opioids? Well, by opioids we mean those drugs that are derived from the opium poppy, such as morphine and codeine, as well as drugs that are similar to morphine, such as hydrocodone, oxycodone and tramadol. Now, to give you some background about opioid use, in the last 10 years opioid prescriptions have increased by about fourfold, and along with that increase has come an enormous increase in the amount of abuse and misuse of opioid drugs. That abuse and misuse could include accidental overdose, death of course, and all the criminal activities related to the illegal use of prescription drugs. Now, prescription drugs, opioids that is, cost us about $9 billion, that's with a B, dollars every year, and that's a pretty large number, but it's not nearly as large as the $56 billion that has been estimated in 2007 of the costs to society of dealing with abuse and misuse of opioids. That's a huge number, but to give you an idea of how large that is, that's about twice the entire budget of the National Institutes of Health for 2012 of all the things that they're going to research into cancer, diabetes, heart disease, Parkinson's disease, and all the other important health problems. That's a huge number. Again, to give you an even different perspective on it, the $56 billion that we spend on abuse and misuse is close to 3/4 of the amount that is being discussed now, $86 billion, for the federal sequester because of the federal spending cuts that are about to take place in March 2012. Naturally, this increase in abuse and misuse, which has been termed an epidemic, by the way, by the CDC, has gotten FDA and other government agencies very alarmed, and in an effort to reduce abuse and misuse, FDA are considering proposals to reduce the maximum dose of opioids that can be prescribed, the maximum time that they can be prescribed for, and the types of pain that opioids can be prescribed for. Now, as important as it is to reduce abuse and misuse, we believe that if these proposals are implemented, they could limit the access of legitimate chronic pain patients to opioids. No one wants to be taking opioids, but we think that there are more effective ways to combat abuse and misuse that will minimize the tragedies of addiction and overdose, as well as the tragedy of a patient who has chronic, unrelenting pain and whose life and the lives of their families are torn apart because of that pain. But to present our ideas to FDA, we need data on how chronic pain is being treated and how opioids are being used. Real data makes a real difference to policymakers, and that's where you come in, because you can take part in our research and make your voice heard in Washington, D.C. And how you do it is very simple. There's a link shown below the screen, and you simply type in that link, go to the survey and complete it. It will take you about 15 minutes to do. Given the high profile of this topic, our submission, we hope, to the FDA will provide a platform to raise awareness about adhesions and to encourage further research about adhesions, endometriosis, interstitial cystitis, irritable bowel syndrome, chronic pelvic pain, pudendal neuralgia, the complications from hysterectomy, as well as chronic pain in general. Lastly, we hope that our work will showcase the achievements of the International Adhesions Society, made possible by your participation in our work, including, very relevant to this subject, our research on Pain Shield MD, an ultrasound device that we've shown has provided benefit to patients with chronic pelvic pain, including those with adhesions. So until safer and effective alternatives like Pain Shield are more widely available to treat pain, we must ensure that patients suffering from chronic pain of all types have access to the pain relief that they need and deserve. This is important. On behalf of all pain sufferers, we must make our voices heard. Please participate in this survey. Please tell your friends who are in a similar situation to participate in this survey, and I look forward to sharing the results with you and to submit them to the FDA. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.